Hey everyone, Wade Vander here with DCTG Consulting, Title Sales Coaching. I want to talk to you about the biggest mistake, or one of the biggest mistakes that I see title reps make, and don't fear, I've also made this mistake numerous times, especially when I was younger. And that mistake is an easy one to solve. It's called not asking for the business, right? You've probably all been there where you were meeting with a client, meeting with a prospect, and you're like, man, hopefully they have a lot of business to send me, but you never asked, right? You left the meeting, the meeting went well, it felt really great, and you're thinking to yourself, why would I screw up this really great meeting that I had with a prospect? They liked me, I liked them, we really bantered back and forth. And then at the end, I'm like, ooh, what if I ask them for the business and they tell me no? Or what if I ask them for business and they say they work with somebody else that they really like? Or what if they, give me some objection that I don't know how to handle? Or did I really provide enough value to the prospect in the meeting to really justify my ability to ask for the business? You have to ask for the business. You are there to meet with these people for one reason. Sure, maybe two, right? Get to know them and find out what's going on in their business. But you represent the title company, right? You're there as the sales representative, you're there as the owner, you're there as a manager, you're there as a business development person to earn their business, right? Get the commitment that they want to work with you. Well, it's kind of hard to get a commitment to business if you don't ask them for business. It's kind of hard to go on a first date with someone if you don't ever ask them out on a date, right? So the thing is, if you're sitting there and you're saying, it just doesn't feel right, or you know what, maybe I'll ask him next time. Like, one, there may not be a next time, and two, if there is, it might not be for a long time. It may be under far different circumstances. And number three, like, if it doesn't feel right, when does it feel right? Right? Like, imagining if you're married and you finally asked your spouse to marry them, but you're like, I didn't feel right before. Like, if you want to go be with someone and you want to earn their business, or you want their business, or you want to have them as a client, you got to ask. And guess what? They will respect you if you ask. They will not respect you if you don't ask. Okay? I can tell you that flat out. Especially if there's a high performer and they're sitting there and you're sitting next to them and everything's going really well and you're asking them some questions about their business, and then finally it gets down to the end, and guess what? You didn't ask them for their business. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. Why isn't this person asking? So I also want to get into how to ask for the business, because there are proper ways to do that so that it doesn't feel awkward. First off, it really shouldn't feel awkward anyway, because hopefully you've demonstrated some level of value enough to get them to say yes to you. But there are different ways to to ask for the business. Like, for example, hey, I'd love to earn your next 2 or 3 transactions to make sure we're a good fit to work together. Are you working with any clients right now? Do you have any listings coming up? Hey, what's the likelihood of us doing business together in the next 30 days? Right? Or hey, of the listings or the buyers that you're taking out next, which one does it make sense for us to work on together? That's fantastic. Thanks for that commitment. I appreciate it. Right? Getting them to give you some level of commitment. A yes, obviously, is great, or I'd love to is even better. But there are different ways to ask. Finding out how many transactions are looking to close in the next 90 days. Well, if they tell you 10, which is an awesome number, right? And then they are 8 or 6 or whatever, and they say to you, yeah, you know what? But I really have a great relationship over there at XYZ Title with Cindy Smith. Well, then you might not ask them for all their business, right? Because they have a relationship, and it's going to take some time for you to build that relationship with them to earn all their business. But you could say, hey, look, I realized in our conversation you mentioned you wanted to close 10 transactions in the next 90 days. Is it possible that I can earn 4 of those transactions? And by the way, I'd love to earn the next one so we can start building the relationship over here at XYZ Title. Okay, you notice how I phrased that? I lowered the pressure because I didn't ask them for all their business. I acknowledged the relationship, still asked them for a part of the business, but I want the next one because I want to see, because you may like me, you may think that I'm valuable, you may think that I say a lot of smart things, but you haven't experienced our escrow and closing team yet, and I need you to do that. So how about you do that on the next one and get them to commit to that one, right? So there are a lot of different ways to ask for the business, right? But at the same time, if there's something holding you back, it's because you probably haven't been trained correctly, right? Or you've been sent to the wolves by the owner of your company or the person who's your sales manager, and they tell you, hey, look, you look great, you sound great, you dress great, go out there and go meet with realtors and lenders, I'm sure you'll be successful. And then you get out there and you're struggle bus, right? Because you realize that it's not super challenging to get appointments, but there is challenge in converting your appointments into clients who actually direct title business to you, That's the key, right? Getting them over that hump. And how are you doing that? And you know what, if it's just, hey, look, I'm trying to be your friend, like that's not what we're trying to do, at least in my title sales coaching business. You can be friends with clients later. We want you to earn trust, value, and show that so that the client makes a pretty educated decision that it makes more sense for them to work with you than it does who they're currently working with now. And we're going to train you how to create that value proposition. So if you're a title rep, you're a title company owner, you want training, I offer that, right? We do one-on-one training, small group. We also do boot camp where I come to you for the whole day and train your entire company. So reach out, Wade at dctgconsulting.com. You can also click below in the description of my video. There should be a link to Calendly. Click on that and you can schedule time with me and we can just have a free conversation about your business and if it makes sense for you to move forward with coaching. So anyway, ask for the business. Don't be afraid. There are different ways to do it. But if you don't do it, your business is not going to grow. So Wade Vander, Molen, thanks for watching.